If you guys are curious as to why America is falling, and we are falling, you don't have to look towards legislation. You don't have to look towards the White House. You can look in your own bedroom. That's right, your own bedroom. It all stems from the lack of relationships. And so today I wanted to hit a few key points and quickly keep you up to date and hopefully even express to you why it's so important to maintain a strong relationship. Men, I'm talking to you. Men out there, don't even think about being in relationships. Most of men are not in relationships currently. There are 43% of men that have never been in a relationship. It's ridiculous. 43% of men, and I'm talking to my generation, and furthermore, I'm talking about Generation Z. Why is that happening? Have they just dropped out suddenly? Do they think it's not important? When did sex not become important? No, it has to be something deeper. I think it's simply because these people don't know how to interact with the opposite sex. I don't understand how this could have happened. But you're talking about 43% of people have not been in relationships, like a meaningful relationship. I'm talking about 1 year or longer. And another surprising fact is 10% have never had sex. They've never had sex with anyone. What is going on here? I am about to explain to you how that is a massive mistake. Not just the not having sex part, but the not being in a relationship part. When I was younger, and even up until maybe a couple of years ago, I didn't see the need to have a relationship. I didn't think that there was any woman out there that shared my same beliefs and that I would actually enjoy spending time with, because the problem with relationships is at first it's a physical thing, right? You're in that lovey-dovey phase and it's a very physical interaction. And then after a while, you guys have to actually start getting to know one another. And you're like, shit, I don't have anything in common with this chick. She likes scrolling on TikTok and I like talking about business. I'm learning about science and she's learning about doing her nails. I have nothing in common with her. We don't like the same things. She's younger than I am. She is into Harry Styles and I'm into whatever I'm into, Pink Floyd. What the fuck am I doing with this girl? And that may be a genuine question that you have to ask yourself. But I have found, as of recent, which I'm going to express to you guys right now, that being in a relationship isn't about finding commonality. There is a massive difference between your friends and your spouse or partner. There's a very distinct difference, and I will tell you why. And I will also fill you in on why relationships are so important and how it builds your character out as a person. Why it's very meaningful and it's a necessity in order to travel through life. If you want to talk about the economic state of America, you don't have to look any further than the simple statistic that people are not getting married. Two incomes versus one income. It's as simple as that. Now, is maybe income inequality have any sort of factor in that? Yeah, probably. Does inflation? Yeah, most definitely. Your dollar went much further back in the day than it does now. But what are you going to do about it? Are you going to complain? Are you going to drop out? Are you going to say, I'm done? Are you going to flip over the chessboard and walk home? You can't. We're here, and we have to understand that we live in probably the best time to have ever lived throughout all of human history. We all have access to clean drinking water, even if it's from the sink, which I don't recommend you drink, but hey, you could drink it if you had to. We can go get a Big Mac for $4 if we have to and eat. We have so much abundance in the United States that people throw things away. Every week, I throw away like hundreds of dollars worth of food that I just didn't eat. It's getting ridiculous. I told my girlfriend, I said, if we go to the store and I pay for this many groceries, we're gonna eat them. Stop throwing them away. But that just is more of an example why it's not more difficult now. So what is that common factor that ties all of these things together? And it's people aren't in relationships. It goes way deeper than finance, guys. That might be the reason why you feel so empty and why you're stunted as a person. Because I don't care if you are the biggest business mogul in the world. If you're a male, you need female companionship and you need long-term relationships with females, not just short-term one-night stand flings. And this is why. I'm going to go over a few different key points as to why that, or maybe even just the lack of that, if you will, I had to think there, can destroy you. Because it's not so much that having it will make you so much better, although it will, but if you don't have it, it will lead you down a very, very dark, deep path of destruction. And here's why. So, firstly, building relationships in general give you access to opportunity. So, have you ever heard it's not what you know, it's who you know? Well, in the 21st century, you have to do both. You have to gain connections and you have to gain knowledge. And the knowledge can be used through your connections. Let me explain. If you're, let's say, a meteorologist for Channel 6 News and you want to move to St. Louis, Missouri because you have family there, it definitely helps if you know people that are already in the broadcasting business or in the local news business in St. Louis, Missouri. You can call them up and say, hey, Tom, I'm thinking about relocating. Do you have any open positions? Things will come to you if you know the right people. Because humans basically enjoy this connection that we have. We like helping one another solve our problems. It makes us feel important when we can help other people. And it's a mutualistic relationship, right? You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours from time to time. It doesn't have to come off that way, but behind the scenes, that's truly what it is. That comes down to the fact that the more people you know, the more referrals or recommendations you'll get. So if you want to create a new business, then you can. You can. These are just a few simple things like collaborative achievements, right? Let's get in together on this. You can do this and I'll do this, and it'll be beneficial to us both. It also keeps you in the loop and gets you a new perspective on information and societal insights. Hey, did you hear that Pfizer stock is going up 500%? Oh, no, I didn't. Let me go ahead and tell my accountant. Or it could revolutionize you in ways that could help your business perform or help you perform. Hey, did you know that if you learn how to do this, then you could potentially raise something by this amount? You're like, oh, I didn't know that. It's very interesting. All of these things are very important to human beings, but most importantly, and I'll talk about this before I get into the, I guess the more personal uh, relationships that you'll have with a partner. These things I'm talking about now are just general relationships. Is it keeps you in check. It keeps you growing as a person because there is a feedback loop. See, your parents raise you to basically just not be a monster, and then society will construct you and mold you into what is socially acceptable, if you will. It will tell you through good and bad feedback what to do and what not to do in order for you to conform properly into our functioning society. Meaning that if you want to be a comedian, but you go to tell a joke, if you tell the joke to your parents and they laugh, that doesn't mean shit. Step in front of strangers. Find someone that will be honest with you and they'll tell you immediately, dude, you're not funny. Keep your 9 to 5. This business idea isn't going to work. She's not good for you. Why are you speaking to someone like that? If you order a beer at a bar and you're rude and people say, why are you doing that? Dude, shut up. Sit down, have your beer, shut the fuck up, stop being rude, or I will kick your ass. These are the necessary roadmaps that one's life can take, and it is a signal that is put out by other people. And without that, you will have no direction in life. You'll have no critical feedback loop. You won't know whether to zig or zag, and you can find yourself going down deep and dark rabbit holes. That's not great. Now, let me get into what this entire video was supposed to be about right now, and that is interpersonal relationships with someone that you grow to love and cherish as a person. And does that seem corny? If it does seem corny to you, then my friend, you have a long ways to go in life. Relationships aren't for everyone, but trust me, once you find out and once you experience, not through word of mouth, but through actually experiencing a relationship, once you find out how beneficial it is to you, not just in one simple aspect, but just as yourself, as you're rounded off as a person as a whole, then I think that you will genuinely change your mind. And I'll get into a couple things that are necessary key points in order to understand why that is. Starting with this, you have to learn how to be an effective communicator. If you want your relationship to work, especially with someone of the opposite sex, you have to be able to communicate effectively. Otherwise, it will be terrible. Trust me, it'll be terrible. For those of you that are in relationships, you damn well know that if you can't effectively communicate, your relationship will strain itself apart, whether it be through animosity, jealousy, through contempt. You have to be able to communicate, and being in a relationship strengthens that communication gap that you have with other people. You're able to get people to see your point of view and for you to articulate yourself to someone that may not be similar to yourself, may have a different background, etc. Another aspect of having a personal, intimate relationship is building trust. It takes a lot for you to invest into one person, and so you have to want to trust that person. You have to trust that person because you're putting so much time and effort and energy into making sure that that relationship stays healthy and afloat. Trust is a very iffy thing, and it takes a lot in order to build trust and form trust and bring down those barriers that you have around you to protect you from the outside world and from getting hurt. And you need to find someone that you can be honest with, and you have to truly trust them. It's nice, everyone when they go outside, right? They put on a show, a bit of a show, and they do it because they don't want to not fit in, or they don't want to express themselves and say how they really feel, because they don't want people to critique them or criticize them. Being able to trust someone enough in order to be your true, authentic self when you're at home, after work, after the gym, after whatever it is that you do, when you can be yourself, it just makes a world of difference. Which leads to the next key point, showing respect. You have to learn to respect things that you may not think are very intelligent. You may have to learn to love things that you don't enjoy doing. It's a give and take. Relationships are a give and take, and you will have to do things that you don't want to do. I don't want to go to the mall and look at women's jeans for 4 hours. I don't want to do it. And I damn sure don't want to pay for it. But you have to. And it's showing respect. You have to show respect. How you treat the outside world is directly correlated to how you treat your significant other. If you treat your girlfriend like shit, then how are you going to treat people on the outside? And a good indication of whether or not you are good in a interpersonal relationship is if people on the outside of that walled garden that you have at your house with you and your partner, if the people on the outside of that, whether it be people you interact with at work or at school, if they seem to like you and they feel comfortable around you, then you're probably doing something right. If not, then you're not being respectful. And I'm not saying you have to be the PC principal. You have to be the PC police, social justice warrior. Oh, respect my pronouns. Ah. No, you don't have to do that. But you do have to show respect. And that also ties into this. You have to be empathetic. In life, we so often say me, me, me. You want to talk about me. How does it relate to me? How does this benefit me in any way? Does it benefit me? Then why are you speaking? Why are you talking? I want to talk about me. I have important things to do. I'm an important person, and you have to respect my time. Well, my friend, if you act like that, you have no empathy. And it's okay to act like that, but you have to also balance it with empathy. You have to be empathetic. You have to say, oh, I'm so sorry that you had a bad day. And you have to mean it. And then you have to hear her explain why. And you have to actually care about the things that upset her or that bring her joy. That's how you keep a healthy relationship, guys. And it's difficult to do. And it takes practice. And it takes a hard look in the mirror at yourself in order to realize, am I being selfish or not? The next thing is you have to spend quality time with someone. If you spend quality time with someone, I said something almost, Freudian slip, just kidding. If you spend the quality time with someone, you'll build such a consistent relationship with them that it'll feel like a safe haven for you. And trust me, I've lived the bachelor life too, and I can honestly say that it gets lonely. You want to build a genuine connection with someone. You really want to. They can be there to support you, and you can be there to support them. Support is incredibly underrated. When you're tackling something, even like me with creating this YouTube channel, which by the way, like and subscribe, please. Please, God, like and subscribe, because Lord knows I need you. Lord knows I need you. If I'm giving you any sort of solace or any sort of useful information, please like and subscribe. But getting back to what I was saying, offering support. You guys can bounce support off one another. Whether you're doing something like creating a YouTube channel, or whether you're going in for an interview because you want to change jobs, or whether or not you just have to stand up to someone and express how you really feel. Maybe you're nervous. They'll be there to support you. It's okay. You got this. That goes way above anything that you would expect it to go. It goes much further than what you would initially realize. It's so important. And another thing that is important in relationships is maintaining honesty. You have to be honest. And that basically ties in with you letting that walled garden down for someone and giving them your trust and entrusting yourself to them and vice versa. Honesty is very, very important. It's very important in relationships. If you lie, your relationship will fall apart, even if they never find out. You never lie. I have been caught many times by my girlfriend, unfortunately, not many times, and not ever cheating or anything, but just, I'm honest with her. If she asks me, it's not even caught, I guess. What it is she asks me like, oh, is my friend attractive? Yeah, babe, she's attractive. I'm honest. I'm honest with her. I don't do it to hurt her feelings, but if you tell me, I say, be careful what you ask me because I'm going to tell you the honest truth. If she asks me, do I look good in this outfit? I won't say no, but I'll be like, I don't like that one as much as I like this one. I'm always honest. You have to be honest. You just have to be honest. And it's not being a dick. I also say you look fantastic if she does. But I keep it real with her because then she knows that when she needs someone's unfiltered, honest, what am I gonna say? When she needs someone's opinion, that's what it was. Bink. When she needs an honest opinion, she can count on me. If she needs genuine advice where I'm not going to skirt around the question at hand and I'm going to tackle it head on and be extremely diligent with my response, she knows to come to me because I'm always honest. It's kind of a fault, but I really don't care because if you're honest, then you have nothing to hide. If you did it, own up to it. You also have to learn how to resolve conflict, and being in a relationship will help you do that because you have to do it constructively. You can't just say fuck you too. You have to learn to be humble and apologize for things and see other people's side of life and of what occurred and how you can understand what they were so angry about or why they were so apprehensive or why they are withdrawn. You have to understand why that argument occurred. And you have to apologize. You have to man up. Don't be a simp, but man up occasionally. If you know that you did something wrong or you say, I didn't realize, you don't have to even say sorry if you're not sorry, but you have to say, I didn't realize that you thought that. I didn't realize that you had that point of view. Didn't realize that offended you. Didn't realize that meant so much to you. I apologize. Just, you have to mean it. You have to mean it, right? And lastly, I will end with this. You have to nurture shared goals and interests, right? If you are with someone and you expect to like exactly who they are right now for the rest of your life, you're setting yourself up for failure because that person that they are, they won't be in 5 years. And so you can't base it off of who they are now. You have to base, if you want to spend the rest of your life with someone or if you see a future with someone, based on their potential and based on their core values. I don't even like myself from 5 years ago. Do you? Or do you look at pictures of yourself 5, 10 years ago and cringe? You're like, fuck, I can't believe I looked like that. I can't believe I wore that. I can't believe I did that. How, if you feel that way towards yourself, someone that you know and love, how can you expect to feel like you love someone the same today as you will as they grow and change? If you don't like yourself 5 years ago, what makes you think you're going to like someone else 5 years into the future? And it comes down to this. It's these core values. You have to grow with one another. And as a man, you have to set that precedent. If you want to grow, then you have to lead. You're in the driver's seat. And you both have a say on where you're going, but you're steering your own ship. You are driving this car. And the car is a relationship. And so it's super, super important to pick someone that you plan long term with and that you can see is improving on themselves and that can adapt and can grow and doesn't get frustrated and likes challenges and loves learning. And as long as you do that, you'll be fine because you guys can grow together. But if you think you're going to like someone the same way for the same reasons 5 years from now as you do today, you are sadly mistaken, my friend. And last but not least, getting back to exactly why America is failing. Why is America failing? Well, let's think about this. About 50% of births are out of wedlock now. People aren't getting married. People are devaluing the importance of creating a relationship instead of just having a sexual one-night fling. That's not fair to you. You're cheating yourself. That's not fair to the person you did that with. But most importantly, it's not fair to the children, guys. I didn't have a dad. My dad sucks. So, haven't spoken to him in 10 plus years. And it's hurtful. I can lie to you and say that I don't care, but the fact is that it is very hurtful and it is very difficult to navigate through life without having that type of not only masculine energy, but just guidance and advice. I don't know why it's so important that a man has a father in his life, because truthfully, just because you share the same blood and the same DNA, with that person doesn't mean that they will give you definitively good, solid advice. They might, the way to hell is paved with good intentions, but for some odd reason, you everyone wants that connection with their parents, especially with their father if they're a male. And if you don't have that, it could be a very, very rocky, very chattery, choppy existence for a while, especially growing up through your teenage years, your adolescence. It's difficult. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. We should be striving more for the perfect family, being that there's a mother and a father, and they get married and they have children. It sets a good precedent. It sets a good example. Everyone needs a mother and a father, and you have to dictate that now. You have to set that line in the sand and draw it out and say, this is how it's going to be. And then you have to follow through with it. And trust me, actually doing it the right way, and that is the right way. I will fight to the death that that is the right way that things should be. Yeah, are humans meant to be promiscuous? Maybe so. I don't care. In our society today, for the sake of the children, it's so important that you maintain a healthy marriage with your significant other. It has to be a marriage because that says something. You can't just walk away from a marriage. You're combined. And yeah, I don't like the fact that the state's involved, but maybe that is beneficial. Not because they suck your fucking taxes from you and steal everything that you worked hard for, no. But that's another video. I'm talking about the fact that you sign a contract and it's difficult to get out of a marriage. And I like the fact that it's difficult. Maybe not if there's some like crazy stuff happening like abuse, then that really sucks. And I apologize if that has happened to you. But what I'm saying is you can't just easily give up. If you're going to call it quits, then there is a lengthy, expensive process. And so it almost forces people to rethink whether or not they were just upset, or maybe they've been acting selfishly, or if it truly isn't going to work and they need to untie the knot. And I think that's so important for children. Every kid, like I'd mentioned, needs a mother and a father. If they're missing one of those things, then life won't play out for them in the best potential way that it could if they did have those things. And so if you want to build a strong relationship with either friends or colleagues, or an intimate relationship with a spouse or a partner that you could eventually marry and be with forever, or at least attempt to, then I highly recommend that you start by working on yourself. You have to work on yourself. Relationships are messy. If you're a guy and you're in a relationship, then you damn well know that at times it's messy and you think to yourself, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing? And we've all thought that. If you can't admit that to me, then you can't admit anything. I can't trust you if you don't admit that, because it's true. It's a very universal problem, but it's not a problem because it's exactly what molds you subconsciously in order to help you become a better version of yourself. It gives you responsibility, it gives you meaning, it gives you purpose. And so if you were single, get out there and find someone. It doesn't have to be your forever person, but you should be looking for that. And where you find them is important too. Don't go to a fucking bar. Don't go, you're going to one night stand places. Go to church. I don't care if you're religious or not. Go to church. Church is like, it's very important. It is very important. It's a place where people can unwind and gain a connection to something greater than themselves. And church will hold you accountable. It's a way that it makes you feel like when you go in that you can let go and that you should act proper and that there are morals and values to uphold in this ancient institutional theology, I guess. It's very important. Go to yoga, learn something new. If you want to meet women, go where women are at. Go to a Barnes & Noble, go anywhere, go to Starbucks. Walk around the mall, just start interacting with people, and you never know. And truthfully, guys, getting back to what I said in the beginning, if you want a girlfriend, usually one of the girls that you know, that you have a strong friendship with within your life now, has a friend, and they'll be more than happy to set you up. And so if you're single, guys, you have to ask yourself if you want to be single. And if you do, then fair enough, we're done here. But if you don't, and you see the value in being tied down, then I say go for it, because it's way more important than what would initially meet the eye. And hopefully I've expressed that to you today. So thank you very much. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Gotta go. See ya.